Today we are making small batch taco soup, enough soup for 2 people with a little bit of leftovers because one of you requested it. I love it when you leave me comments and you ask for some of your favorite recipes made in small batch form. So if you've got one you'd like to see me make, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Now, this may be the easiest and quickest recipe you have ever seen me make here on my YouTube channel. You literally need 30 minutes or less. 10 to 15 minutes to put it together, 15 minutes to let it simmer, and you have a warm and delicious dinner ready. And it is packed full of protein. And the best part is there is no slicing, no dicing, no chopping involved. We are going to start by adding our hamburger. Now I'm using a ½ pound of hamburger. You could also use ground turkey or ground chicken if you prefer. Going to add that to my little stock pot, sauce pot, whatever you have. It just needs to hold about 5 cups of liquid. Then we're going to add in some chopped onion. Now, I have a ½ cup of chopped onion here, and I've got a little kitchen hack for you, showing you one of my favorite things is chopped frozen onion. Now, I hate chopping onions. Hate it, hate it. It's my worst kitchen chore. So I buy this frozen chopped onion. It's perfect for throwing in things like sauces and soups. No chopping involved. And you know, who wants to chop a whole onion when you only need a ½ cup of onion like this recipe calls for? So, frozen chopped onion, it's the best. Okay, we're going to take this over the stove top. We are going to go ahead and brown it all together. I'm going to use my little fun little meat chopper here. I'll link to it down below. I like to use an 80-20, 90-10 blend for my ground beef because it leaves you with just enough fat to give the meat some nice flavor. If you have too much fat, liquid fat after you brown it, go ahead and drain some off. All right, after our ground beef is nice and brown and then those onions are nice and soft, we're ready to add in the rest of our ingredients. Now, this soup is what I like to call a dump soup because you literally dump everything in. We're going to start by adding in some water. You could also use beef broth or chicken broth, whatever you have on hand. I am adding in some broth. The broth just gives the soup a little bit more flavor. And you want 3 cups, so I need to add in 1 more cup. There we go. And then next we're going to add in 2 cans. So you want 26 ounces. I have 2 14.5 ounces of diced. I like to use the petite diced tomatoes. I'm going to add those in. You could also use a stewed tomato, even a crushed tomato if you want, if you don't want chunks of tomato in your soup. And literally this soup, it takes more time to open the cans for the soup than it does to assemble the soup. And then we have a little 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. And then we're going to add in 16 ounces of, I'm using red kidney beans. You could use black beans, whatever your favorite bean is. I have rinsed them first. And then the last ingredients is some taco seasoning. You want about 2 tablespoons, which is half of a package of taco seasoning. If you like more flavor, you could add a little bit more in, or if you like it spicy, there is a spicy taco seasoning. We've got this all mixed together. And you can flavor it to taste if you want a little bit more salt, if you want a little bit more chili powder or something in it, go ahead and add it in. Then we're going to put this back on the stove and we're going to let it simmer for at least 15 minutes. If you can let it simmer for a little bit longer, the flavors will meld together better and it's going to thicken up a bit. It's pretty soupy right now, but as it cooks and as it simmers, it will thicken up. All right, now your simmer time is going to be affected by the size of your pot. I'm using a smaller, deeper pot, so I let mine simmer a little bit longer. If you're using a larger pot, it won't need to simmer as long. The surface area is really important. Now, if you wanted to also to the soup, I forgot to mention, you could add in some canned corn, some green chilies, or any other kind of chili if you want a little bit of heat, some red pepper or green pepper. If you're going to add in some fresh, like a pepper, you want to make sure that you just cook your soup long enough that those peppers get nice and tender. So then all we have to do, we grab our bowl. This soup makes about, I'd say 5 cups of soup, again, depending on how much you simmer it down. And say for us, it's a perfect amount. We can really squeak 2 meals out of this. I like to garnish my soup with a dollop of sour cream. Oop, almost missed the bowl. Some grated cheese. You could add in some chopped green onion, some black olives. Sometimes I like to add sliced black olives. And then I like a little crunch in my soup. I'll just add in a few tortilla chips, and we're ready to go. Now, this soup is the perfect way to warm up on a cold winter's night, or just when you need a fast, easy, delicious dinner. You could serve it with some of my easy breadsticks that you'll find down there, or some of my small batch biscuits. So make sure you check out those recipes. Actually, I think they're going to be right here. Anyway, thanks for joining me in the kitchen today, and I'll see you in the next video.